Good morning. It is another amazing Wednesday's morning, you amazing real estate agents. We are excited about today, guys. I can talk about one of my favorite topics, and that's open houses, which we're going to dive into, hopefully talk about some outside the box ideas, as well as give you guys a plethora of new resources that you guys can edit and use on your own. So I've got some free gifts today, which is always good, right? Who does not like free? Or you got your brokerage actually paying for it, so you're paying for it as individual agents, but it's still included, right? More bonus. We'll call it a bonus. So excited, guys. I love the comments, guys. You guys are working on your database, work on your lists. I think that's fantastic. Get as many email addresses as possible this month. That would be my big focus is loading down. So before we dive too much into the open houses, what I want to talk about is show you guys the new, I know you guys noticed the new, when you log into your Level Up portal, there's a new menu. It has a little bit easier to access. You can access your social swag, newsletters, agent onboarding, libraries, and your new Canva libraries in there, your file library. And we are working it right now. It's in beta. It is a new community feature. So right now I've got 2 posts in there, and you guys can jump in, click the community feature here. See if I can jump in to show you a little example. See if my guys have got it up and going. But this is going to allow us to open the communication just a little bit more for us. So we're going to be posting when we add new resources. We're going to post them in here as well. Oh, I am logged into the wrong. Oh, there we go. And right there it is. So we're going to do posts in there. Jump in there, add posts, add comments in those posts, guys. And let's just engage, right? That's what we want to do. Engage with the other. If you guys got comments or questions, feel free to reach out to us anytime. But beyond that, we are going to be switching gears, and we are going to be talking about open houses. So let me see if I can make this thing full screen for a minute. All right. So before we get too much into it, guys, look, you guys know me pretty well. Some of you guys do. And, I'm very passionate about doing activities in your business that are ROI positive, right? And open houses is a positive ROI activity when done correctly. It just is. So I'm going to kick off with a little poll. If you're in the comments, go ahead and drop in the comments. If you're watching on one of the Facebook private groups, go ahead and drop that in there as well. But here's my question. Do you host open houses regularly? And it's okay to say no. So in the comments, go ahead, yes or no. But many agents don't. And I just talked to an agent yesterday that I coach, and they basically said to me, I don't host open houses. I hate them. And I'm like, okay. So we moved on to a different topic. But, I get it. Open houses can be daunting sometimes. They could be, too much, especially if you got a lot going on. But I absolutely love them. So that's what we're going to talk about mostly today. So in the chat, guys, drop in. Do you host open houses regularly? Yes or no? Then we're going to move on. All right. And so, guys, we know that. Yes, Vanessa, do it. Put it on your task list for sure. Okay. I love that. Guys, here's the deal. You need to meet buyers and sellers, right? So hosting those open houses become a great way to access those buyers and sellers, right? Without spending a lot of money. It's just true. And so you don't have to, let's say, for example, you don't have any current listings, right? Let's say you don't have any listings right now. What I would do is message all the agents in your office, and I would say, hey, who's got an open house that I can host? Yeah, Mark says, yes, listing dependent. Absolutely. I get it. And so I love Crystal. Crystal's very honest. I love this, Crystal. I love honesty. She says, no, but I like to do open houses. That's awesome. I love that. Open house queen for the agents in my office. Look at you. Love that. And so, guys, we should be reaching out to the other agents in our office and asking to host open houses if you don't currently have a listing. Because, look, it's a great way to meet those possible buyers, which also could be sellers as well, right? So that is awesome. And honestly, guys, exactly what we need to focus in on is how to do it and what's the proper ways to make these things happen, and also how to be successful at it. Because I don't know about you, but I've been at open houses, right? And the agent goes in and no one's there, and she sits there at their desk or sits there at the kitchen table and she does work because no one's showing up. Have you guys been there? Have you guys ever hosted an open house that no one showed up for? Did it feel good? I bet it didn't. And so what we're going to do is kind of eliminate that whole thing. And we want to have a lot of people come to these open houses, right? And there's steps and process to this. And I'm going to give you a checklist. I'm going to give you all kinds of cool stuff at the end of this. So hang up to the end, and I'm going to give you all the resources. But So how do we ensure we increase their open house conversion? Because we all want to. It's great if you get 20 people in, but if you can't convert any of them, does it really matter? Right? So we need to increase our conversion. So first, here's my big step for you guys. Set a goal for each and every open house you host. And I'm talking about a goal that's obtainable for you. So here's a couple sample goals that I like to set. Identify at least 1 to 2 prospects, right? So before you even do the open house, I'm gonna have a goal. I'm getting 2 prospects out of this. That's my goal. And if you get 20, fantastic. If you get 8, fantastic. If you get 1, you can work harder. Just kidding. So we're gonna set a point. Now this may seem a little forward, but it's a goal I like to set. Set appointments with them before they leave the open house. You get what I'm saying? Have a conversation with them. Build a rapport with them. Try to set a meeting up with them automatically. Say, hey, what are you doing this Thursday? I'd love to sit down with you over coffee and talk about what your needs are, what you're looking for in a home, right? Especially if they're not, represented, because that's a no-brainer. You should be going and setting your appointments up right here during the open houses, right? And number 3, meet within 48 hours. Set that meeting up or that phone call up with that person within 40 hours. Don't let them leave the open house without having a call of action on them, right? So it works great this way. Collect, and lastly but not least, guys, collect as many names and numbers as you possibly can. Whether that be a sign-in sheet or using an open house app or got your notepad out, whatever it is, collect as many information as possible that day. That's your goal, because you got a follow-up to do, which we're going to talk about in a minute. Okay, so open house objective number 1, right? Maximizing the traffic. Maximizing your traffic. That's your people, right? So maximizing your traffic. And so we have to be different. Stand out from the crowd, right? Be different. That's the goal here. Many agents just do not put any hustle into their open houses. Let me just be honest with you. I went to a couple open houses recently from agents that I had never actually talked to before. When they didn't know who I was from Joe. And so I walked in open houses just to see how agents do it. I'm kind of weird like that. I like to just go and see how other agents do things. And so one agent I was very impressed with. 2 agents, I was like, are you kidding me? This is all you're going to do? 2 of them didn't even talk to me. Didn't even have a conversation with me. They sat at the kitchen table and they just let me kind of walk through the open house with no conversation. I was blown away. The first agent did an amazing job. They actually were trying to sell me a home before I walked out the door, and I was like, this is awesome. But here's the deal. Ready? Number 1, put the listing on, right? So they put the listing on, right? You got that. Step 1, put the listing on the MLS. It's up, right? Put the open house on the MLS, right? Put the open house on the listing. I saw so many the other day that are not putting open house inside the MLS so it gets notified out. You can also update your website. You can also update Zillow, update realtor.com. Those are all steps that people forget, right? Because look, everybody's not looking at your website. Now, that would be amazing if they did, but they're not. So you have to go on realtor.com. You have to go on Zillow, check to make sure it has the open house. Now, it should be syndicated through. So if you update your MLS, it should show up on there. But we've had a lot of tendencies recently where it's not showing up. So be sure you check to make sure the open house is actually sent and shown on those bigger portals, okay? And honestly, number 3, sometimes put a rider sign out. You should put like an open house rider, put some signs in the yard, 5 or like put the directional signs. Now, look, you have to be careful sometimes because the sign police will take them. You do, right? You got to go the guidelines there, because I know several people have had a lot of signs been taken by the sign police. So, maybe 2 days before, a day before, it's a good time to put those directional signs out. I'm all about the feather flags. You can buy a feather flag for $129, guys. That's a super nice open house feather flag. It gets your neighborhood's attention. It gets the current community's attention a lot better than the signs are, because honestly, people kind of just like drive by and they don't even notice the signs anymore. But if you had a big feather flag, which is, like I said, it's $129, guys, this is an investment you can make for the next couple of years. One-time payment. Might get it like a 14-foot feather flag, put it in the yard. It gets attention. Okay, I've seen it. I've seen people walk in, drive in, stop their cars because they've seen that. So it's definitely worth it. Okay. Then after the 2 hours, guys, we don't want to make sure we waste our time. And we've seen agents waste time in open houses. So I'm not going to waste your 2 hour time. We're going to make it efficient. And that's what we're talking about today. We need to maximize your traffic to do that. And so here's some big little steps here, guys. Okay. What we do before the open house matters. Okay. So I want you guys, and this is hard sometimes because sometimes you don't have the time for this, but if you can, schedule the open house for about 2 weeks out. Now, look, most people schedule open houses like 3 days out, 4 days out. If you can get the farther out, the better, because people plan for these things. So schedule 2 weeks out if you can, right? At least a week out if you can. Send emails to your database. Now, this is where agents struggle. I'm telling you, I just talked to 4 agents this week that they did not do this for their open house. You should be sending out an email blast to your entire database, guys, your sphere. And look, some people may not be interested in it, but one, it's another touch point for you to say, hey, whoa, he's moving and shaking. Hey, Jeremy's still a real estate agent, right? Send that open house email out to your database. I'm going to give you templates today so you don't have to worry about it in order to send it out. But I promise you this works. Plan a VIP hour. And I can't shout this one from the rooftops enough, okay? Plan a VIP hour before your open house. So the hour before your open house. So let's say your open house is from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock. From 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, before the official open house starts, host a VIP hour, okay? Mail out, especially if you get it like within if you have a time frame of a week or more, mail out like 50 to 100 postcards, open house postcards. You can get them printed pretty cheap. Mail them out to the community, the people around your area where you're selling that home at. I like to do a radius of like 0.2 of a mile, 0.3 of a mile, whatever that gets. If I can get around about a 50 to 100 homes, I mail a VIP invite out to them. Very nice. It says black, usually has VIP on it. And it says, because you're a community member, you're invited to our VIP open house hour, or doors served, or something like that, cookies, or whatever you want to put on there to get their attention. And sometimes they even put like pick your neighbor, right, on the postcard. So be sure to get these. These are game changer, guys. You can order let's say you order 1,000 of these at a time. And it's just all these really nice open house, right? You can even, I've got one agent that prints a whole bunch up front and he puts a label on it for the actual property address. So there's so many different ways you can do it to save money. But you can print them, right off, or you can actually print them in bulk and just have a label or something like that, or leave it blank and I've seen some agents do the matte finished on the postcards with just a white box. And then all you have to do is get an assistant to go through and actually in Sharpie on that postcard. Now, it does take some time, right? But it's a lot cheaper to order in bulk than having to wait for the time frame. So then in Sharpie, put the address in that white box on the postcard. That makes sense? Okay, hope so. So many different ways to do it. I'm all about saving money, a little frugal when it comes to marketing. So I want to make sure I get the most out of my money. Number 4 here, send VIP invites via text messages. So you can use programs like Property Radar or RedX to get the actual people's phone numbers for the neighborhood. And if you acquire those phone numbers, that's the game changer, right? Because now you can send out a text message invite, a VIP invite to those neighbors, right? So maybe they'll invite other people, or maybe they'll come themselves. This stuff works, guys. All right. So hope you guys got a couple notes down already. We're going to keep chugging along. Got tons more left today. What do you do before open house? Circle prospect. You guys know what circle prospect is, right? You have your property. It's like when you do a CMA, right? You have this circle and your property's in the middle. And so circle prospecting, you're trying to market to those people in that vicinity of that property. That's circle prospecting, whether that be postcards, door knocking. I saw an agent recently. I thought it was pretty cool. They actually put door hangers. They had printed off a whole bunch of open house door hangers. And what they did, they actually did the same thing. They did Sharpie with a white box. And that way they could actually write the address in. And so they can use it in bulk. And so now they just go around, or having a teenager or somebody go around, put these on the people's doors around the neighborhood, invite them to the VIP hour to the open house. It works, guys. Okay. Good ideas. Let's keep chugging along. Some of my resources there, guys, is RedX, Property Radar, and Slideowl. If you've never heard of Slideowl will allow you to, and even KV Core and some other CRMs have this built in, or it's an add-on product. But Slideowl will allow you to record a voicemail and then send it out to your entire database. So for example, I could record a voicemail and say, hey, this is Jeremy Collins, your favorite real estate agent. I'm hosting an open house from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock this Sunday at 123 Main Street. I would love for you and your family to attend and come by and check out this amazing home. That's all there is. And it goes out to everybody's voicemail box. So basically bypasses their cell phone call and it goes to their voicemail. I love Slide Owl. It's great. Okay, keep on going along. So here's another idea to maximize your traffic. Offer a sneak preview and use those words, sneak preview, to your neighbors, right? Have your sellers give you the opportunity and ask your seller if you could do this, right? To do a 1 week or 2 week pre-launch to invite the neighbors to meet at the open house. This will ensure additional quality time, guys, and conversations take place. I've seen this done with luxury properties, just unbelievable. So they host like a kind of a neighbor sneak peek, and the neighbors come in. The sellers are actually there. The neighbors come in because they're friends, right? Hopefully, or if not, they're just now meeting their old neighbors that they didn't know before, and they come in and there's doors. People walk through the house. It gives people kind of a sense of, wow, this is cool. Wow, thanks for being part of thanks for inviting me in from the community. And that one, you're going to be there as a real estate agent and you get to meet everybody in the community, right? I saw another agent do this by hosting an open house barbecue. They actually put the grill right in the front of the house. And as people came in, they gave hot dogs out. It was awesome. And it's just another way, guys. I mean, hot dogs are so daggone cheap, right? Put your grill in the yard. People notice that. And literally put a sign if you want to that says, open house, free food. I don't care. Anything to get traffic. And yes, will you get a lot of people just looky-loos? Sure. But I'm a people person. I build relationships. That's what you're trying to do. Get in front of as many people as possible. All right. Got some ideas hopefully turned through your head on this, guys. I hope this is working so far. So I love the idea of implementing a neighbor knows best campaign. So what that means is you're reaching out, or you do door knocking, or you do some kind of postcard out to the neighbors that say, hey, we know you know best of what this neighborhood's like. We want you to pick your own neighbor. It works. People love that kind of stuff. All right, keep on going. So you might, this is a note in here I always have, you might be, if you're going to get a lot of traffic in your open house, and also, have you guys ever hosted an open house and you had like 20 plus people show up? Do you remember even a year or so ago, we actually had a plethora. I mean, I remember, people were lined out the door on some of these open houses. And so you be sure to plan for that, right? Have a backup host or invite a lender to come host the open house with you. That way they can help host as well, right? Because if they get people, that's great. If you get people, great. You can basically, if they get data that you didn't get or get names and numbers you didn't get, you're going to share. Invite another possible agent to come along. Maybe if you're a team member, invite another team member to come along. That the better, sometimes better, more people is better, right? Because you don't want to miss the opportunity of talking to somebody. All right, open house promotion. I just put some notes up here, guys, to get your brain kind of turning a little bit. So open house promotion, postcards, door hangers are great, and you, like I said, you can order these in bulk. Put just a white box. That way you can write in some of this stuff. Write in the address or whatever you want to write, a special note to whoever you're sending this to. Sneak peek cards. I love these. So what this means is you just have on the postcard, you have a picture of the house. And this didn't have to so much go to open house. You can send out sneak peek cards to the whole neighborhood if you want to. And so it has a picture of the house and it says, scan for a sneak peek of this property. And it has a QR code and it's going to go to the single property website or the link to your website where they can see the photos of the property. And I love to be able to track the QR codes. So that way, you know how many people scan that. So if you send it to 100 people and 20 people scanned it, I would think that's a good ROI. And so it's a 20% is pretty good. And then, so that's another thought idea, guys, right? We talked about VIP invite letters, cards. Obviously, you've got to post on social media. And I'm going to give you a whole resource guide for this in just a second for posting on social media. All right, keep on going. I always add this in here when I talk about open houses, guys, just because I feel like some agents just don't take it for real. Like, you do have to be safe when you're hosting open houses, no matter what kind of property you're in or what area you're in, right? So here's a couple tips I wrote down just for you guys. Ready? Keep your cell phone in your hand or your pocket at all times. just in case. It's just what I do. Always have it handy for me. Don't leave it on the kitchen counter and you're upstairs alone with a client, right? Bad idea. So make sure your car isn't blocked in. Make sure you can get away if you have to, right? And it's parked down the street for easy access. What I like to do. Stay on the main level of the house if possible, because you don't want to separate yourself with your client, alone. And these are just little small things, guys. And if you guys have more safety tips, drop in the chat. I want to hear from you guys. What are some safety tips you guys do to make sure you're safe? Because guys, we're a real estate agent. We're in environments sometimes we may not think safety, but it's really important. Keep the door locked before and after the open house. That seems odd, but you never know, right? We don't want to be somebody see an open house and some predator guys out there saying, oh, open house starts at 1. We know agents get there like 30 to 45 minutes early. I'm going to get there early before anybody else get there. And now they know you're alone. Kind of scary, right? Okay. Does this make sense? Is this helping anybody? All right. We'll keep on going. Open house objective number 2. Make a good impression. This is crucial, right? We all want to make good impressions. So agents should have 2 goals when hosting open houses, right? Making an appointment and making a memory. Let me say it again. Every time you host open house, you have 2 goals: making an appointment and making a memory. If you're unforgettable, you're also hireable. Say it again. If you're unforgettable, you're also hireable, right? Use these, I call them QVC talking points, but they're like, number 1, quality, right? For example, you can use some talking points like talking about the quality of certain items in the house. So, example, these floorboards were made with the sturdiest wood around, and you can obviously come up with better words than that. You get the idea. Talk quality with people. Value, right? This house includes a brand new water heater. That's value. Brand new roof. Value, right? You have to bring that kind of stuff up in conversations because people don't read, right? So you have to communicate that with them verbally. Convenience, right? So quality, value, what's the convenience, right? It's only 3 minutes walk from the train station. I don't know what that's like, but you're trying to say this is a convenient home for you and your family. That's your QVC: quality, value, convenience. Be unique and be bold, right? Always carry a contract or have it with you. Always have that ready to go. Because if someone looks at you and says, or maybe a buyer's agreement ready to go. When you host open houses, guys, have a buyer's agreement ready to go. So if you make a great impression on them, you can sign a contract right there, sign an agreement with them right there that you're ready to be their agent and you're going to work hard for them. Got it? A couple of examples I pulled up just for stuff I've used in the past that I think they're great. And you can find all these on Canva, by the way. As you just search open house, they usually come up. This one is a guess the price. So if you're not using the digital open house one, you can have this up there, or you can have this with it and have the guest try to guess, a certain price that it's going to sell for. And here's how I do this. So I say, hey, go ahead, guys. We're having a drawing. We're going to do a giveaway for a $25 gas card. If you just want to guess the price of what this home is going to actually sell for. And then after it sells, you have a reason to reach out to these people. You're always looking for reasons to reach back out to people, right? So here's what I would do. At the open house closes, let's say it sells for $320,000. Here's my follow-up with this. I call up the agent that filled out the form, that guessed. I say, hey, John, just to let you know, this is Jeremy, the realtor who was at your open house the other day that you attended. The actual price of the property ended up selling for $320,000. You said it was going to sell for $350,000. You missed it by a little bit, but how's the home search going? How's things going for you? It gives you a reason to reach out. Does this make sense? Always look for reasons to follow up. This is a great way to follow up. Guess the price. That's something you could do extra as a giveaway, right? Plus, there's just some examples there. Wine and cheese open houses, a nice little VIP black and gold open house. It's up to you how you want to customize this, guys. There's so many options out there. Couple more little options there. This is like a frame you could put like a QR code in where they could go and sign up maybe to a Google form. We've seen that a lot, like create your own Google form where they would scan it with their phone. They would type in their information right there on the Google form, and then they would go see the open house. Okay, keep on going. All right, open house objective number 2. We're still there, making a good impression. Okay. When it comes to open houses, real estate professionals know that the key to selling a home is helping buyers see what it'd be like if they live there, right? Nevertheless, most forget that sight isn't the only senses people use to make decisions. If you want your open house to stand out, guys, consider playing around with more basically different ways to touch their senses when they come in. So here's some good little examples already. Get buyers to move to the music. I always, when I used to host open houses for help agents host open houses, I'd bring a little MP3, not MP3, I made that up, Bluetooth speaker. You've seen those, guys. You can buy them anywhere for like 25 bucks. Little Bluetooth speaker, have it set in the kitchen counter, have music playing through your cell phone, slowly, quietly, not like blasting, but quietly. Because when people walk in that door and they instantly hear music, it automatically brings a positive atmosphere. Does that make sense? How many times do you host open houses and it's really quiet? We don't want that. Okay. Small, quiet music. You can create your own open house playlist. I'll give you my open house playlist if you guys want it through Spotify. But, it works. Okay. Music. You could add, what's some other things here? I've got, I love the idea of sniffing out the home. We should do this. Bring candles, light a candle, bake cookies. That's always a great one. Plus, it's so good to eat those cookies if you wait. Yes, Mike, Fleetwood Mac. I love it. I love it. And so those are some good ideas, guys, to just get some motivation, right? Get some people get a positive atmosphere as soon as they walk in the door. This small stuff adds up big time, right? We saw some that buy flowers. So on the way to open house, stop at Kroger and buy a big bouquet of flowers. Put it right there on the kitchen counter. Flowers add a little something, right? Crystal says, I made an open house playlist that I keep on my iPad. I love that. That's what we should be doing, guys. It's the small things that's going to add up. Thanks for the input, Crystal. I love that. All right. Next, number 3. So we got an amazing open house. We held an open house. It was awesome. We had a lot of people through. We got a lot of people information. Number 3 is your follow-up, okay? Here's your objective. Follow up with text, right? A video text is best. So after the open house, before you leave the open house, while you're in the open house, set and pull your phone out and hit record. And here's what you do. Hey, John, it was so great to see you at the open house just a little bit ago. I hope you're having a great day. I would love to connect with you. And you basically share something about that open house. Text them while you're in the open house, because then they see the open house live. They see the house they were just in, and it gives them a sense of, wow, okay, there's agents on it, right? It's great. Christine says, and I love this. I'm going to go ahead and say it to you. I'm going to see if I can put this on the thing because I love this. These are some great ideas. Christine said, I create a landing page that once they log in, the URL takes them, so the link will take them to the property information on my website. I create a QR code from the landing page. I'll do it one or for guest buyers or one for the agents. Then have a smart campaign to both automatically follow up. I love that. I love automation, guys. Then they get a search for property, similar subject property. Genius, Christine. I love it. Guys, so much you can do, right? Building a smart campaign through the MLS ID as a hashtag. That way, all you use hashtag open house 1 or open house 2, and they'll automatically get this certain campaign. I love it. Number 3, add them to your database. Add an e-alert, a property search subscription to them. Like if I have their information, if they have their name and email address, before I leave the open house, I pull up my CRM and I add a subscription to them for the properties that match this open house, right? For the city they're in, as well as others. So that way, before you leave the open house, they're getting drips. They're getting information from you, right? If you have to, be sure to book an hour after the open house to do all this, to do the videos, to do the adding the search alerts. Because not, it may be 2 days before you get back to your computer and really have time to actually put this stuff in. Make time, schedule it now for the open house. Follow up with a phone call, right? That works. Add them to a drip campaign. You read my mind, Christine. Add them to a drip campaign, right? Which is it's definitely not lame. It definitely works. I love it. I love it. Some of these agents are using, if they have KB Core or whatever program they have, they're using the open house app. Love it. All right. Shifting gears slightly, guys. I'm going to give you some outside the box ideas, and then I'm going to give you some freebies. Okay. So number 1, we talked about these offer sneak previews to neighbors know best campaign. Let me pull my other slide deck up here. I saw one agent do this and I thought it was genius. They brought a food truck to the community. So for example, they had a food truck that brought people in, and then at the food truck, so at the front of the neighborhood, let's say you're hosting an open house in the front of the neighborhood, And you could get with the community and say, hey, I'm bringing an open house, I'm bringing a food truck that day. Would love to. And as long as you can, like, get probably anywhere from 50 to 60 people to show up, then you're going to vote. Food truck people will love it. And there's no commitment up front, right? Just make sure somebody's at the food truck passing out the open house flyer. So they're in the neighborhood already. Come see the open house. Does that make sense? I love that idea. I've seen one at one luxury home. It's a $1.2 million luxury home. Someone created a pop-up shopping at the open house. So they invited these area vendors, and they actually had like tables set up in the big open living room. And it was more of an event than anything else. People came to shop at these small little vendors inside the living room of this house, and they got to see the open house. And he got I think he got like 60 or 70 people to come into this thing, and he got tons of information. Sounds a little outside the box, but it could work. I saw another agent down in the Dallas area. They did a local art gallery. So basically invited these local artists to come in, and we hosted an open house art gallery at that home. Now the sellers had to be open to it, right? Had to be able to put some easels out and stuff like that. But it was awesome. We got a great return on that, and they loved it. I think they've actually done it 3 or 4 times since then. Offer samples from local eateries. Go to local bakeries and say, hey, I'm hosting an open house. Would you be able to make up some samples for me? And I'll be able to pass out, and I'll give them as promotion pieces for you. Anything to work with the local community, right? Love that idea. You have to go live on social. I know it seems scary for some of you guys, but pull your phone out, right? Go live. Record yourself. Talk to you about yourself. The 30 minutes before you host the open house, say, walk them through the home. Go live. Let people get more exposure to you. All right. I saw this one the other day. Rearrange the home virtually, which it seems far-fetched, but it's coming, guys, especially if you have like an empty home. No one wants to host an open house in an empty home, no furniture or anything. So you could kind of do some staging, some virtual staging for the home. And that when people come in, you have some photos to show them what the space could look like. It always does work. It does great that way. Neighbors to your advantage. I talked about that a little bit, guys. That's always a good positive thing. Use Facebook and Instagram stories. We have to use stories more. It does get a crazy amount of attention. Facebook and Instagram stories. We talked about that. And last couple of things is don't underestimate the power of a framed sign. I know it seems weird, but I saw a whole bunch of open houses recently that had these cool little framed signs. And it was awesome. Anything welcoming people to the open house is great. Hand out small gifts or souvenirs as swag. If you have any swag, guys, it's a great place to hand those things out. Place signs in different rooms. I love this. You could do these little TP signs. So if there's a granite countertop, you would put in here on the TP sign granite countertop. And you can use these for multiple open houses, guys. Create them once and use the QR code, and it says like scan for more information. So if they've got this beautiful new refrigerator that's massive or whatever it is, some cool feature, you could say that's coming with the home and have a link to the features of it. So many options in this. I talked about live music. Here's some couple follow-up things, guys, right? Feed your buyers' imaginations, work with other real estate agents, be creative with your signs, think outside the box. These are all crucial. All right, now I'm going to give you some stuff. You ready? So on your screen, if you're watching on your computer, you can take your phone out and scan that. Give me 1 second. I'll actually pull the QR code for you guys. Well, I'll tell you what. After this, I will email the actual direct link for this too for you guys as well. So after this, I'll send you an email probably about 2 o'clock today or so. I'll send you an email with this, but go ahead and scan this. And here's what you're going to get. You guys ready? I'm going to pull it off the screen if you guys are ready to show you what you're going to get with this. Here we go. I'll put that back up here at the end. And so you're going to get access to this document. So that scan code will actually take you. Let me see if I can open it up. Come on. It's running a little slow today. It needs some coffee. So here's what we're going to give you guys. There's an open house checklist that you can customize to give to your seller to help them prep for their open house. There's like 20 different social media templates in here. There's brochures. There's welcome signs. There's Instagram story templates here. There's neighborhood invite templates. There's sign-in sheet templates. Guys, there is so much here. And these are ready to go in Canva for you guys to use right now. Okay. So these, I'll pull up the template. Let me pull up this one for you just so we can show you what it looks like. This is the checklist that we've created for you guys. It is open up in Canva right now. I'll give it 1 second. And I would recommend, clicking on each one of these links, customizing some of these for what fits you and your open house. And then from there, you can use these every day for all your open houses. So I'm going to hit edit template here just so you can see what it looks like. This is a multi-page checklist. So this is a great piece to add to your business strategy. It's a little grayed out right now. Give me 1 second while it loads. There we go. And so here's what it looks like, guys. Open house checklist. You can add your own information at the top. You can add your phone number. You can add whatever you want to it. This gives them a walkthrough of their home, some of the things that seller can do. Plus, you can add some notes to it if you want to about that specific open house, as well as here's a one-pager open house checklist. So this is a great document, guys. You guys can use. I hope you guys use it. So much we can do with open houses, right? All right. 30 minutes is down, 37 minutes. We went a little long today. It's okay. I hope you guys picked out 1 or 2 things you guys can improve on your open houses. We're coming into open house season, guys. Right now is a fantastic time. People are looking to move. They're looking to attend these open houses. Give them an opportunity to come out and give you their information so you can be their next agent. Okay? We want to excel at this. All right. Hopefully you guys took a little bit of notes, guys. I know that was a lot of content, a lot of information. I hope you guys use the resources we send out to you guys. If you need anything from us, feel free to reach out. But continue to push, okay? We're in a very hot season right now, guys, where it's ramping up, right? Interest rates aren't raising right now. Things are moving along. People want to move and shake. We're seeing a lot of movement in our area. I'm hoping you guys see it in your area. That's it. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for attending this workshop. Thank you so much for listening to me yant about open houses. And hopefully you guys that got at least one piece of information you're going to be able to implement into your business to make it a better ROI when you host open houses. All right, guys, thanks so much. You guys are awesome. Appreciate y'all. More content coming out next week we got like 3 or 4 new Canva templates we're rolling out. I've got a new training coming up that I'm excited about. You guys will have access to it for free. Big stuff coming. But take care, guys. Have a great one, and go sell some awesome homes.